So we've just had a wonderful day here in Hamburg at the Steinway factory. It's often said, what's in a name? What's in a Steinway? We've discovered exactly what's in there in terms of precision engineering, skill, craft. It's something from another world, really. It's been absolutely fantastic. Having world-class facilities like those afforded by Steinway really bring huge benefits to the cultural life of the university, but also of the city, and thirdly, to the wider world, insofar as the university supports and hosts the Leeds International Piano Competition. This is a global event, and this will be taking place again next year, and I think this is going to be fantastic to have the Steinway school status, not least because Steinway is another long-standing partner of the competition.
Hello and welcome to the University of Leeds. My name's Simon Moore. Today you're joining us live here at the School of Music. We're in the Clothworkers Centenary Concert Hall, where today we're celebrating the arrival of 27 brand new Steinway & Sons pianos. This confers the title of an all-Steinway school on the School of Music here at Leeds. We've made this big investment. We've got this new sort of prestigious title, if you like, because these are the top-of-the-range pianos. They're going to now be available. You can probably see them all behind me. They're now going to be moved across the university into concert halls and into practice rooms so that staff and students will be able to use the top-of-the-range pianos. Today we're here about 20 minutes away from a live performance. Involves 28 pianos, all of them Steinways. We already owned one. We've now added 27 to that collection. So now we're going to be seeing a variety of staff and students performing a brand new piece. Piece of music was composed by Dr. Mick Spencer and Dr. Alana Marie Halle. Those two have created this piece for 28 pianos. We've just heard a little rehearsal of it, but in about 20 minutes' time we're going to be having a live performance, which we're going to stream to you live here on Facebook, and we're on livestream.com as well. Thank you all very much for tuning in. We'd love to hear where you're watching from, if you're alumni, what you studied here at the university. So do say hello in the comments and we'll read some of those out. Before we get into the performance, I'm going to be talking to a couple of guests. We've got a student who's going to be performing in the piece, who's currently doing a master's here at Leeds. And just before that, I'm going to invite in my first guest. We've got the head of the School of Music, very exciting. Karen, if you'd like to join me, that would be fabulous.
Hello there.
Hi there. So this is Dr. Karen Burland, head of the School of Music and an associate professor in music psychology. Mm-hmm. Very interesting title, that one.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us what does it mean? Why is it exciting that we've just become an all-Steinway school?
Well, I think for me, Steinway is just the marker of quality. It is the best of the best that you can get in pianos. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the kind of Hamburg trip, the trip to the factory when we selected the Steinways. Yeah. And the reason for that is that was the point at which it became really clear to me why this is such an amazing investment that the university is making. When we were walking around the factory, we were shown around by Keith Glazebrook, who's been working with us on this project, and he explained the process of making these pianos. Now, these are all handmade pianos, so these are not done on a kind of factory line. There's a team of people, a large team of people that works on making these instruments. And what we saw was the process of selecting the wood, how they check the grain to make sure that there are no impurities. Yeah. The idea being that the kind of purest grain possible will allow the sound to travel through the instrument, allow the resonance of the instruments, which is something that's explored in the piece that Mick's written, Mick and Alana have written, down to the fact that then they get put in these kind of handmade moulds that give the shape of the grand and the baby grand pianos. And then they've got a team of people who by hand, kind of sand and assemble. So that high gloss you can see on the pianos behind us is actually done by hand, sanding, varnishing,
Yeah.
sanding, and you know, the attention to detail. And there's something there about the marriage of science and engineering
Yeah.
with the people who are then responsible for kind of setting the pianos for the keys, sorry, and the hammers, and making sure the action is right.
Yeah.
So they're doing that by ear and feel. So it's a perfect marriage of kind of science and engineering
Yeah.
with the artistic process, which is wonderful.
Yeah, so it's really it's a very intricate process. You can't really imagine what it takes to construct a piano, especially to sound as good as these do.
Yeah.
So you can probably see behind us all 28 pianos set up there. Currently, they're all kind of vacant, but in about 15-20 minutes time, we're going to see yourself. You're taking part, aren't
I
you?
am, yes.
As well as 27 others, including Mick Spencer, who co-wrote the piece. And yeah, we're going to be seeing a kind of once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I was struck when we were just rehearsing just now, and I was really struck by how noisy 28 pianos in one room are. Actually, I've never heard it before. So just that in itself, let alone 28 Steinways, is kind of... it's pretty amazing, really.
Yeah, we don't need microphones for this one.
No.
We have got... We're just up in the balcony here in the concert hall. Got an audience of about 50 or 60, I think, joining us today. But if you're watching anywhere around the world, you can keep watching this stream, and very soon you'll see Karen, I think, towards the far end.
Yeah, that's right, in the middle at the back.
Excellent. That's not
Befitting my
deliberate.
skills, actually.
Very modest. We've got a live comment here on Facebook. Thank you very much. This is from Margie from New Zealand.
Wow.
Who says, how amazing to see all those Steinways.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we think so too. I probably haven't seen one Steinway before, let alone 28.
It's a real treat, actually, yeah.
So can you tell us a bit more about who is going to be using these in the future? They arrived this morning, 3 or 4 hours ago.
Yeah.
Who's going to be playing them
Okay,
after
well,
today?
I suppose first and foremost we've got our performance students in the school, so we have a performance programme, well we have 2 performance programmes, so our pianists on that programme will be studying on them, but then we also have a whole load of other singers and instrumentalists who will be accompanied and taught, you know, in rooms with these Steinway pianos.
Yeah.
We also have music technologists who will learn how to record these pianos. You know, these are professional grade, these are the industry standard, if you like, so the future music studio producers and everything else that we're growing here in the school will be developing their skills of how to kind of get the best out of recording these instruments. We've got students from around the university, so there's a music society called Looms, which is the Leeds University Union Music Society, and we have students from that society and others actually rehearsing in our spaces, so they will benefit from the pianos as well. And then we hope that they will attract really high quality performers and teachers and students from around the world actually, because of the Steinway brand. You know, this is the place where the first Russell Group University to invest in the Steinway School status. So it's really exciting, and we hope that it will just enhance and enrich the experience of students on campus.
Yeah, so if Margie from New Zealand,
Yeah.
if you want to come over, you might have already studied at Leeds, I don't know, but if you want to come and use some of these incredible pianos, come and study music at Leeds.
Yes.
I think we've got a mixture of kind of the performance pianos, and I think probably most of them are for practice rooms, and for recording as well, of course. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your own research? Because music therapy isn't something I've really I know very well.
Yeah, so I've been involved in various pockets of research over the last few years. So I did some work with a colleague called Wendy McGee, who's now based in America, and we did some work on the therapeutic process involving music technology in the therapeutic process. So how working with music can help people forge an identity. So people who might have acquired brain injury, for example, and then they kind of go through a kind of a damaged self, if you like, so and how music can help restore aspects of identity and self-belief and provide a mechanism for self-expression. So I've been doing some of that, and then most recently I'm involved in some research with a colleague of mine, Dr. Freya Bales, who's a University Academic Fellow here, and we're looking at music and well-being, so looking at the ways in which music fosters well-being amongst different communities.
I mean, music makes a lot of people happy, doesn't it? So.
Yeah, well, it's a way to express ourselves, it's a way to manage manage and release our emotions. It's a way sometimes to communicate bits of ourselves that we can't necessarily find words for.
Yeah. We've got another couple of questions or comments here live on Facebook. Thank you very much for these. We've got Sharon watching in Paris.
Bonjour.
Excellent. There you go. And Kevin, not quite sure what this says. He says, amazing achievement. And do you know where that is? Watching in Bunratty.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Not sure where that is. If you could let us know what country that's in. I don't think that's a country. But thanks for watching, Kevin and Sharon. Thank you very much for those comments. If you've got any questions, I'm soon to be talking to one of the students who will be playing in the piece and who has studied here at the university. So if you've got any questions, do fire those in as well. How are you feeling about this performance, Karen? What can we expect?
Well, I'm very excited. As I said before, it's the kind of first time that I've ever heard 28 pianos in a room before, so very excited. It's a piece that's been specially written for today's occasion by Dr. Mick Spencer and Dr. Alana Halle, and I think it's really to explore, I mentioned the resonances before, so the resonance and delay, and it's triggered by light, so what you're going to see are a series of colours changing in the room behind us,
right.
And that triggers us to move on to a different part of the music, and as that happens there will be different textures, so some spiky bits and some soft, kind of peaceful bits. And so what we've got behind us is going to be a performance from students and staff from the School of Music. We've got some colleagues from Opera North here, and we've got some colleagues from around other places in the university as well playing.
Fantastic,
so,
fantastic.
Yeah, I couldn't quite hear what it sounded like because I was right at the front, so I think that the recording you'll get here will be a much more global impression.
We'll let you know what it sounds like.
Thank you. I'll be watching it back.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for chatting to me,
Thank you.
Karen. Very best of luck for the performance.
Thank you.
We'll keep an eye on you at the back there.
Excellent. Thanks very much. Thank you.
See you later. We've got another question here. Thanks very much for all of these. If you keep them coming in, soon to be talking to a master's student who's studying composition here at Leeds. If you're just joining us, we're live in the School of Music, where we're celebrating our brand new all Steinway School status. We've got 28 Steinway and Sons pianos behind me in the hall here, and we're going to be live streaming a very special performance, brand new piece of music. It's going to be performed by staff and students shortly, about 10-15 minutes time, all being well. Downstairs you can see a bit of a gathering of the people ready to perform there. It's probably time to talk to our student who is soon to be in that performance, so let's get her in now. Lottie, thank you very much for joining me. So I'm now joined by Lottie Sad. She's a master's student here at Leeds, but you also did an undergraduate in the School of Music here as well, didn't you?
I did, yeah, I can't get away.
Didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
Happens to a lot of us, myself included.
Yeah.
So Lottie, what's it like to do a master's at Leeds?
It's full on, but I'm loving it at the moment. I'm very sort of philosophy, composition, art, creation sort of minded, and I find the course at Leeds just does that perfectly.
Yeah. And you're obviously a fan, having done an undergraduate and now stayed on to do another year's work. Is it kind of performance based? Is it theory based? Is there a dissertation involved?
You can opt to do a dissertation. In the course that I'm doing, the composition course, it's sort of, you've got to do a portfolio of 4 submissions and whatever that entails, you can do. But there's writing involved there's an aesthetics module, and that's sort of philosophy and critique sort of base.
Yeah.
So there's a good mixture of practical and theory.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah.
We had a question here from Tanya who says, where on campus will the pianos go after today? It's a good question. So we've got them all in one place, just for today only, really. It's quite a lot of effort moving them anywhere, let alone all into one room. So I believe one of them's going to stay in here, one's going to be just next door in the foyer there that's also now kind of its own performance area. And then most of the rest are going into a variety of practice rooms, I believe. You've probably... Have you been using...
Spent a lot of time in those practice rooms. Yeah. They're all in the basement, sort of no light. You're just tucked away performing.
Working hard.
Yeah, they'll be superb.
And It must be quite a nice feeling to be playing a Steinway, be like the first person to be on a Steinway piano.
It's amazing. I've played piano for about, I think maybe 17 years now, and Steinways have always been my sort of nerd thing.
Right.
And to play that, just even now in the rehearsal, and just tinkling away on it.
Yeah, I had to come and pull you away to have a chat, really. You're like, I'm just nerding out down here. Well, I mean, you've got the rest of your academic year to nerd out on.
Yeah.
It's kind of take your pick, isn't it?
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. If you're just joining us, we're live in the School of Music. We've got 28 Steinway & Sons pianos. We're about 10 minutes away from a live performance that Lottie will be playing in. Whereabouts are you sat?
I'm sat just down there on a grand in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's a practice grand.
It is
the one?
a little baby practice.
So it might be the one you get to use in the coming weeks and months.
I'll put my stamp on it. I'll make sure nobody else uses it.
Yeah, maybe don't sort of draw on it or anything. We've got another question here live on Facebook. Thank you very much for this. This one's from Anna, who says, "What's your favourite piece of music to play?" Good question.
I get into ruts of playing only the things that I can remember to play. So at the moment, I haven't sort of played or performed properly in about 2 years, I think. But I still remember there's, what's it called? It's Beethoven C minor. Oh, it's a trio in C minor with cello and violin.
Yeah.
And I like playing that. It's got the fast bits. It's got the big bits. Yeah.
Well, this performance is going to be an interesting one. I should probably let you go in a moment or two. Most of the others are all in position, so very best of luck to you.
Thank you very
much. See you down there. Yes. Good luck for the performance.
Yes,
See you later. That was Charlotte Lottie Sad, who is a master's student here at the University of Leeds. She's just nipping downstairs. She'll be the last one to join in today's performance. As you can see, we've got 28 pianists ready for this very special performance. If you'd like to know more about concerts at Leeds, the link is just there above this video. Lots of public performances, I'd say 1 a week at least during term time. So do check that out, and I really hope you enjoyed today's performance and have enjoyed the live stream. Like and share, and we'll get it out there to more people. Hope you enjoy. Thanks very much. Goodbye.